Hey guys, what's going on? Alright, this is going to be a short installment of Dusty Trail. It's going to be the how do you make more space of your what essentially is a utility trailer with a bed trailer. And the way we do it is by installing cool little bags. And so behind me, you'll see those bags? They're just places you can put stuff, T-shirts, socks, anything else, like all your toiletries and stuff that you have next to your bed, like lipstick and stuff. I mean, I don't know, whatever you want. So I'm going to show you how we're going to install those. And then we're also going to be putting up a hamper on the same system that we put up our drapes on, because it's just a really good system from IKEA. So, all right, here we go. So we use the Kunz-Force rods for a variety of things on the camper. The easiest way to put the Kunz-Force rods together is to start by having it on a flat surface, and it's just an Allen key, an Allen wrench, and you just tighten it down. Again, you want to have it on a flat surface when you do it, because you don't want these to not be at 90 and to have the same on both sides. So we just tighten these things down, and then once you get them tight, you can kind of turn the Allen wrench the other way and reef on them a little. They don't need to be too awful tight. So far we've used these to hang our curtains, as well as two of the bags by our head. They go on really easy, and they look good when you get them done. So we're going to use this for our hamper. So I'll show you that process next. Okay, so a couple things are going on right now. We're using the level to establish where this edge is, because we know that we don't want the hamper to be, resting against the front of this constantly. All right. The hamper is actually going to hook to S-hooks that are going to go on this, and I actually have to feed those S-hooks on here before we put this up. So I need to actually do that, and I'm glad I mentioned that to you, or else I would have forgotten. And then to get our distance from the ceiling, we're just going to use the box that it came with, to establish that gap, and that's going to allow me to have the exact same gap on both ends, so it won't, so it'll be level when the camper's level, which is superficial because this camper's almost never level. But at least we'll try. So yeah, that's really it. This helps us set it up, and the only thing left to do is sink it home. We use, for our camper, we use a number 8 by 1.5 inch, or by a half inch, not 1.5, just a half inch, and that's just because you definitely don't want to go through the wall. You would be really bummed. I'd be bummed. So yeah, I'll drill these in after I put the S-hooks on, and I'll show you the result. Okay, so there you have it. As you can see, the hooks are so that way you can go in from this way. They aren't going to come off as S-hooks, but they're a little tighter at the top compared to like a carabiner that might have actually come off of here. But we don't want them to come off, because this is our hamper, and this is what our hamper looks like installed. And we can fill it with clothes now, and it's large. It's a big hamper, and when we get done with our trips, we'll unhook it and grab it out, and away you go. One thing to be sure is, you'll probably notice I'm over by the electronics. The vent, just pointed away from it a little bit. Even when it's full of clothes, it's not so very wide that I think it's going to be a real big problem. Plus, one of these days I'm actually going to be able to run the heater when it's not 55 outside, and so, it won't be putting out heat that is ridiculously hot. So either way, good to go. Doesn't get in the way of anything really. And we'll have a little extra on the rod to hang other things if we want. So I think it looks really good. I hope Dusty Wife is happy. All right. Next up, we have a bag that needs to be installed next to it to store a bunch of small items that we originally were storing in the front net. They got it everywhere all the time. No organization whatsoever. So here we go on that. So for our other hanging bags, we went with this kind of hook, and it just sits like this. You saw it on the back with those other ones. It's It's Liberty. We picked them up at Home Depot. They're kind of expensive at $4 a pop, but they look good, and Dusty Wife is happy with them. So happy wife, happy life. I'm not using these screws that came with it, obviously, because they are too long. But we just use a. There they are. They've got the same flathead style. You put this against the wall, and then the inside it's got just some slots, and it just slots home, and and you can't pull it off. It goes all the way up there, and yeah, it slides around pretty easily, but once you get it synced home, the rug kind of holds it in place, and well enough for our purposes. So we'll get this. I'll get this put in. How we're spacing it is we just space it using the level. We just use that to get our gap. We had to be kind of careful with the back doors because we didn't want to get in the way of the hinge. But in this case, it's probably going to be way easier to just make sure that this fits, up high far enough for it to go into its spot, and then that'll be good for us. The higher we can put it, kind of the better, so we have more room next to the bag. Just you don't want to be kicking your bags, waking yourself up because you kick something that's in there and it makes a lot of noise or something. So, but yeah, we'll show you the results. All right. Okay, so as described, what we did is we just kind of held the level up to the top of this, and then we put the top one home, because then you can shift this bottom one back and forth based on what looks to be straight up and down. Remember, in a camper, you kind of want to just match your angles. You want to match roof lines, so we used this from the roof, like this, flat against the roof, to help get our angle, and then we just eyeballed it next to the right up here is the bar that we'd already installed. And the reason for that is because you can try to get your camper 100% level outside, but campers aren't necessarily put together like meticulously, and so it's 50-50. Look for level, try to get level, but at the same time be smart. Hit the eyeball. If it's visually appealing, then it will always be visually appealing. If it's not visually appealing, then you'll be mad that you didn't just make it visually appealing. So we're going to continue. We have 3 more of these to install for this particular bag, and then we'll slide these bad boys on, and I'll show you the results. Okay, so we got the last one in. Dusty Wife is gonna slide it home. It takes a little bit of effort, not too much though. That's how they look. Boom, beautiful. And now we can just start putting stuff in them. Flashlights, and that was some mace just in case. Dustpan, gotta have it. The floor is dirty. We're actually gonna sweep it out next. Not gonna bother filming that though. That's an air pump for the solar shower, so that way I don't have to work. Don't like to work. I think there was some boot ice things in there because California, why not? Water shoes, never know when you're gonna get wet. Trailer info. That's really it. Alright, well, I think we might move some stuff around so we don't get Mr. Flappy Doo over here. We'll probably put him in the center with the shoes underneath him. But either way, there you go. That's what we've got going on here, and this is how you make the most of a small trailer. Guys, short one, but a good one. Thanks for watching. This is Dusty Trail.